having done this business for some time, for some years, I've had a lot of poultry farmers reach out to me and they ask me, Modupe, can I stock different layer birds, different flock in the same poultry building, in the same pen? I know what the answer is. The answer is yes. Yes, you can actually do that. You can stock different birds of different ages, different flock in the same pen, but only if you're using a battery cage system and you can manage them very well. I'm going to show how I stock different batches of layer beds at different time, at different period, how I ensure they are all healthy and doing well on my farm. You want to stick around and watch this video to the end because I am certain you're going to find one or two tips very, very useful. Stick around and watch to the end. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. This is my layer poultry pen, and this pen has 3 rows. 3 rows. This is the first one, this is the second one, and that's the third one over there. This is what this pen looks like. The first thing you want to do when stocking different batches of layer beds in the same pen is to ensure, one, of course, like I mentioned initially, is to ensure that you're doing this in a battery cage system. It is very important. You can't do this in a deep litter system. You know, getting birds in September and getting another set of birds in December in the same pen while they are all in deep litter. That is a biosecurity risk that you don't want to do. You don't even want to do that because you're risking the health of both batches, both flocks on your farm. But then if you're using a battery cage system, what you can do when you want to stock different batches of layer beds in the same building, in the same pen, is that ensure that they are in different rows. Not like, you see, I've shown that this pen has 3 rows, right? Ensure that when you want to stock the first one, you stock them all in one row. Not that you stock some in one row, stock the other in another row. No, don't do that. Stock everything in one row. This row, for instance, has about 13 sets of cages. So I know that I am stocking 1,300 birds in this line, in this row of cages. So that is what you should do. Stock all your birds at a time in one row. I like to be very realistic on this channel. I'm not telling you what doesn't work or what is unattainable. So if you are aware, if you've been following my channel, this is my awesome flock. You know that I stocked them in December of 2024, right? Then in March of 2025, I stocked my new set of birds. These birds here, my golden flock. I stocked them in March of 2025. So you see that that's like 3 months after. Then the last set of birds over there, that set over there, I stocked them about 2 years ago. That's my Hartford flock, and they are going to be leaving the farm very soon. They're going to be leaving, so most of them are going to be leaving the farm in October. They are over 100 weeks old. So that is what you can do. That is what you can do to ensure that you're not mixing them. So the birds are not mixing per se, because the awesome flock, they have no reason coming to where the golden flock are. They are in different lines. They're in different rows. You can see the rows all behind me. So we have the golden flock here. We have the awesome flock at this area. They are not mixing together for any reason. Of course, sometimes you may have one of them jump out of their cage, but it's not such a risk because they are not even meeting. So you can see the space in between the rows. This is one row where my awesome flock are. This is another row where my golden flock are. And that's the last row over there. You see that there are spaces between them. So the birds are not mixing, and so we are not having any biosecurity risk on the farm. But then there are still other management you have to do when you're stocking birds of different batches, birds of different ages in the same layer poultry pen. Another thing you can do on your farm when you have now stocked birds of different ages on your farm, another way you can ensure that things are going well, things are going very well on the farm, is to ensure that you maintain a very strict biosecurity system on your farm. So because the birds are different ages, so it is always advised that whenever you're doing any cleaning, whenever you're doing anything, of course, this is what I do on my own farm. Different staff manage each row. So it's not like the person managing golden flock is the person managing the awesome flock. They are different staff entirely. So always ensure strict biosecurity measure, and that also is a biosecurity measure. So let your workers get into the pen every time, sanitizing their food using the food baths. Then also, whenever we are doing any major cleaning, especially maybe they are taking out the waste and all that, always ensure that you go from the youngest flock to the oldest flock. Of course, the oldest flock they've stayed longer on the farm. They might have one issue or the other, but so whenever you're doing your cleaning, start from the youngest flock. The youngest flock on my farm or in this pen, that's the golden flock. We start our cleaning from there. Then we go to the awesome flock, then we go to the Hartford flock. So we go from the youngest to the oldest. That is to ensure that disease would be anything that might happen or that could happen is very minimal. Like there's very minimal contact between whatever thing is happening with the youngest birds to the oldest birds. So anytime you have to do any serious cleaning, go from the youngest to the oldest. Another thing you have to put in place whenever you have birds of different ages in the same pen is to ensure you control airborne risk. So in the pen, ensure that the pen is very ventilated. I say this every time, ensure it is very ventilated. You see coverings around my pen. It is there because of whenever there's heavy rainfall. But whenever there is no rain and the weather is clear, this coverings has to be raised up, raised like it is raised. Another thing you can ensure when you're trying to control airborne risk is to ensure that you dust your net, the net surrounding your pen. Ensure you dust it every time. There has to be proper ventilation in the pen. When there is proper ventilation in the pen, all the birds of the different ages, of the different batches, they are going to be fine. I know that according to the textbooks, they'll say, oh, it is wrong to have different ages of birds in your pen, in the same pen. But trust me, everybody's capability is different. Our financial strength is different. If you want to stock this capacity of pen now, this pen is a 3,900 capacity. Multiply it by about 7,100 that they are selling 1 point of lane now. You know what? How much that is? Imagine buying all that at once, feeding them to profitability. But if you do your things in bits, you're still going to be fine. And this is why I'm making this video, to let you know that yes, you can actually successfully house different ages, different batches of layer beds in one pen. So let's continue. And yes, I need to remind you that if you have not subscribed to my channel, now is the time to do so. Please subscribe, please turn on the notification bell. And yes, you can join the membership on my channel. Please click on the join icon and join membership on my channel. Subscribe to one level of the membership and support this channel. So let's continue. Number 4 way you can successfully stock different ages of layer beds in the same pen is to medicate and vaccinate each batch accordingly. So whenever we are receiving new batch of birds and we have other batches in that pen, we have to treat those new ones, give them their medication. There's like a 2-week medication we have to give them. Give them their medication, vaccinate them accordingly. So over time, maybe within the next 3 months or 4 months, their vaccination would rhyme and you'll be vaccinating and medicating them together. But when the birds first arrive, vaccinate and medicate according to the need of the birds. So sometimes, especially when I have new batch of birds in my pen, I treat them, I take care of them. If there is any concern with the older ones, I treat them, I take care of them. I vaccinate them at the appropriate time. Before you know it, maybe in another 4 months, everything will sync. They will use the same medication, they will use the same vaccination at the same time. But initially, at the initial stage, give them their vaccination and medication as needed by the individual batches. Another way you can successfully stock different batches of layer beds in the same pen is to feed and give them water accordingly. So whenever I'm stocking new birds in my pen, I already have older birds in that pen. Most of the time, the feed that the new birds will be eating is usually different. Sometimes I'm giving the new birds, I'm giving them grower feed, or I am giving them layer, I'm giving them pre-layer. But the older birds will most likely, they'll be feeding on layer mash. So I have to give them their different feed accordingly. Give them their water accordingly also, according to the need of that batch of birds. But of course, just like for medication, over time, over a period of like 4-5 weeks, they will be using the same feed. But at the initial stage, give each bird their feed and their water according to how they need it. So when the new birds arrive, there are different quantity of feed their body will be requiring. It's not like what the older birds would need. So you give them the right quantity, give each batch the right quantity and the right feed type. And trust me, the birds will be fine all under one pen, all under one building. The last, which is the sixth, will be regular disinfection of the pen, the pit, and the building. So it is important that you regularly disinfect your pen, your poultry building, so as to reduce the pressure of maybe disease on all the birds in that pen. So these are the things you can do to successfully stock different ages of layer beds in the same pen, in the same building. Yes, it is not textbook right, it is not textbook ideal, because the ideal thing would be you should do all in and all out. But again, I still say it that if your financial strength cannot handle all in and all out, then please space your birds, space receiving the birds. Take them as you are able to take care of them. Take them in as you're able to care for them, and you will be fine. Trust me, I am fine. You just need to know that there are so many ways or so many things to manage the whole thing, and you will do it very well. I have done it very well. While it is not always ideal that you stock different ages of birds in the same pen, but you can actually do it if you follow these steps I have talked about. I've done it myself. My birds are healthy and they are productive. And that's about it for today. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to having your feedback also. I'd like to hear your comments. What do you think about stocking different ages of layer beds in the same pen? Let me hear your opinion. We're all learning together. And if you're looking to start your layer poultry farm, I am that person you should reach out to. Send me an email, poultrywithmodupe@gmail.com, or book a 2-hour consultation session with me via the seller link in the description box. And then if you're starting your layer poultry farm, you're not sure how to get your cages, your birds, your poultry inputs, you know what to do. You can also click on the seller link to purchase my ultimate trusted poultry vendor list. There you see the contacts of vendors I have used, trusted vendors I have used, and they'll be able to help you easily start up your business, because you're dealing with people that are trusted and people who knows what they are doing. Also, if you also like to learn more about poultry farming, you're starting your poultry farm soon, and you'd like to join the community of farmers, I have my monthly mentorship class that is going to be starting very soon. So you can also join the class, join other farmers. Let's learn together while I share my experience with you all. Thank you for watching, and that'll be till another time when I bring another interesting topic your way. It's still Poultry with Modupe, and you know what I say here? Stay profiting. Bye bye.